Welcome to Friday. This will be Friday, March the 6th. I guess I can change the date because Jackie's not here to do it. But it's now day Friday. We're actually using a 5-day work week during this time. So it's just Monday to Friday. And I can change the homework on there, but it is day Friday. That's what it is, March the 6th. And it's good to see that the casual days are over. Jenny, you look absolutely spectacular today. And even little Johnny, you look like a gentleman for maybe the first time in your life. I have to admit, and those people that are arguing against uniforms versus not school uniforms, don't you think that Jenny and little Johnny look absolutely splendid today? Fantastic. Jenny, you can do your tie up a little bit there. Thanks, Jenny. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's get started on the webs of depth. Now, I understand this is like we're getting to the near the end of the nonfiction reading, so it does get a little bit more difficult. And webs of depth is just like that. It is supposed to be challenging you. But I was thinking about this yesterday, how to make these questions a little bit easier, just for those people who really want to dig into something. And probably the biggest point is that when you get down to questions 3 and 4, you just kind of want to think about what is something that is, you know, a little bit interesting that you might want to research more. And to be honest, I do this all the time whether I'm reading nonfiction or even when I'm reading fiction. I'm reading and then something triggers in my mind and say, I want to look this up. And these days with computers and iPads, I can just quickly go to them because my book is on an iPad. Like most of the time I'm using Kindle or the Overdrive from the Saskatchewan libraries. So I can quickly look up things about the author, things about the story, things about what they're talking about. So that would be a good way to look at questions 3 and 4. If you haven't asked them yet, that's what you should be asking yourself. Is there anything else that I would like to look into that I could look up on the internet or read in a book or read in some other place? So anyway, today we are going to be looking for the answers to some of these questions. How does changing Earth's surface produce weather and climate? Does pollution affect Earth systems? How Earth systems make new land? And what does our future hold for us? And we could talk about, and we could look at some of the websites. And so now we're just going to go ahead and search for some of those different things. So I'm just going to cough up a Google site on here, and I'll have my questions that I can jump back and forth. I guess if you want to, you can answer these questions. How many years does it take? Well, in the text we read yesterday, it takes millions of years. That's what it said. We can answer that. How are the mountains formed? It actually answered that too. It said earthquakes occurring over millions of years push up the Earth's crust and make mountains. Okay, so I answered the first two, but now when we get to question 3, how does the Earth's surface produce different weather and climate? How is changing Earth's surface? So some of us might be, if I go to a certain Earth's changing surface affects climate. So I make my search very specific, and then, as I said, it's research. The impacts of climate change on terrestrial Earth surface, and that's kind of looking at the second question. So the first one, does pollution affect how Earth systems make new land? So let's have a look at. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go. I think I'm just going to look at this one right here. The impacts of climate change on terrestrial Earth. And it says national and international policy initiatives have focused on reducing carbon emissions as a means by which to limit future climate warming. Much less attention has been paid by the policymakers to monitoring and modeling and managing the impacts of climate change on the dynamics of Earth's surface systems. including glaciers, rivers, mountains, and coasts. This is a critical emission, however, as Earth surface systems provide water and soil and resources, sustain ecosystems, service and strongly influence geochemical climate feedbacks in ways that are as yet uncertain. We argue that there is a significant policy gap, and anyway, I could read on about that, but when we talk about that, that made me think of something that I already know. They did talk about glaciers, right? And do you remember what's happening with the glaciers with global warming? So we want to talk about Earth's surface, and now I could go on, and I'm actually going to create a new slide like this. You guys are going to be typing this in your digital reading notebook like this. So, for example, this is Jackie's, and Jackie would probably put on, and I'm just going to type it in Jackie's right now just to make it in there. March the 5th, right? The text, the article I found, and that's would be linked. So I would go back to this and I would copy the URL, Control C, right? Because we're going to link it in there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in. What did I actually search for? And it said, sorry, I forgot that. What was I searching for again? How does changing Earth's surface produce, I'll just say, does pollution affect Earth's surface? Does pollution affect, sorry. There we go. And then when I want to link it, I just highlight it, and then you do the Control K and Control V, and that would be linked inside that little box. So you can put links inside your digital reading notebook too. All right, then the summary of what we read. Anybody have a summary? Yes, Jenny.
If we do things that create global warming, it will change the Earth's surface. That's the main idea.
Okay, that's a very good summary. So basically, the article is about if
we do things that create global warming, it will change the Earth's surface. Okay? And then the reading strategy we're still doing is still webs of depth.
And if you want to put in there, you could put answers, because we are doing answers in there. Webs of depth answers. I don't think I need the brackets there. It's okay, Jackie. I'm going to be taking this out, and then you'll have to do it. Maybe I'll take a screenshot, though, and send it to you guys so that you can have it in there. Okay, webs of depth. And so now we look at this and we say that if
we do things that create global warming. Just out of curiosity, does anybody know some things that
create global warming? Yes, little Johnny.
Yeah, if we do things that create global warming, for example, burning fossil fuels, throwing plastics in the oceans, then the global warming can seriously affect how the Earth's surface develops. An example of this would be the melting of the glaciers. This will cause land to be flooded, increased rain, erosion in some areas. Other areas will be dry. Plants will die, then their roots will not hold the soil, and more land will become desert.
Yeah, those are some very, very good points. So things that create global warming, like burning, and that was in the article.
Fossil fuels, throwing plastic in the oceans. If we do things that create global warming, for example, I think we should use a transition there too. For example, burning fossil fuels, throwing plastic into oceans. Then the global warming can seriously affect how the Earth's surface develops. An example of this would be the melting of the glaciers. This will cause land to be flooded, increased rain and erosion in some areas. Other areas will be dry, and plants will die. Thank you there. No, John. Plants will die. Then their roots will not hold the soil, and more land will become desert.
Then, that's basically what we've done for today. If you can get to that point, that's the reading lesson for today. You're going to be actually looking at getting a different source to answer those questions. The things to keep in mind: put on your date. Make sure you find that article and make sure you source them. If you find more than one article, you probably have to put in 2 different links, which you can. Write a very short summary of what you read. Then use the reading strategy. In this one, you need to dig deeper and you need to write more about what you learned from that new source. And of course, you can throw in your own opinion. Of course, you can throw in things that you've already learned before. Okay? Is that good? Little Johnny, that's not really appropriate in class. No. For grade 5 kids, that's just put your arm back. Okay. Thank you, little Johnny. Okay. Anyway, that's about it. Good luck to you. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this and I'm going to stick it into the slideshow and share it with you. And this is for Friday, March the 6th, your reading homework. Enjoy. It's due on Tuesday. And that's about it. Okay, thank you very much.